Pay attention. This father, worse than an animal, personally shoved his own crippled daughter into a room and let multiple men rape her. And all of this was just for a few filthy banknotes. When the younger daughter, the quiet but defiant girl, heard her sister's screams and rushed in, the beast of a father slapped her to the ground. He warned her not to meddle in other people's business. It turned out that in this man's eyes, his disabled elder daughter was nothing but useless baggage, someone who owed the family a debt. Watching her sister being violated, the younger girl's rage exploded. She grabbed a firewood cleaver and charged at those monsters. But they were too many. Her sister was pinned down. And the monstrous father? He egged them on. In utter despair, the girl snapped completely. Swinging the cleaver wildly, she slashed not only at the thugs, but also turned the blade on her own father. Tragically, her act of self-defense was twisted into intentional assault. In court, the wounded father refused to show mercy. He personally sent his 18-year-old daughter to prison. 3 years. Not long before that, she'd made a promise to the boy she'd grown up with. Wait for me. When I get out, we'll marry. They dreamed of building a life together in the city. Now, through cold iron bars, they tearfully vowed, wait 3 years! 3 years later, when she walks out of prison, will the happiness once promised still be waiting for her? One moment, he was the tyrant of his household. The next, his own daughter locked him in the pig pen, begging for scraps like a dog. And it all began on the day his daughter walked out of prison. 3 years ago, to protect her sister from domestic abuse, she stabbed her monstrous father. But he twisted the truth, accusing her of deliberately injuring his genitals, costing her an extra year behind bars. Now she returned to this so-called home, carrying her sister's final letter and an ocean of hatred. To her mother's worried pleas, she promised calm obedience. But inside, she only regretted that her knife hadn't gone deeper 3 years ago. Back home, she acted completely out of character, kneeling before her beast of a father, begging forgiveness. He took it as proof that prison had broken her spirit. Smug and careless, he never saw what came next. She claimed the pigs were too thin, then took a razor-sharp sickle and began sharpening it right in front of him. The cold glint of steel mirrored the murder in her eyes. Then, when he callously declared her sister got what she deserved, her mask shattered. In that instant, even her timid mother awakened. She lunged at her husband, exposing the truth. He'd personally broken their elder daughter's legs. For half a lifetime, mother and daughter had been crushed. Now, they rose together. They set fire to the monster's room, burning every last trace of his ill-gotten wealth. From that day on, master and servant switched places. The former tyrant rotted in the pig pen, living a life worse than death. Just as she believed her vengeance was complete, a delayed package arrived, bearing news that the boy who'd promised to wait for her had vanished without a trace. This woman, just released from prison, had no skills, no talents, yet she outshone every young, beautiful rival and landed a position as maid in the household of the nation's top chabal family. Her reason? Revenge for her boyfriend. Brutally murdered. A year ago, he proposed to her through prison bars, promising to marry her the moment she was free. But when she finally walked out, all she got was news of his accidental death. Everyone claimed he fell from scaffolding, trying to earn extra cash. But a neighbor's gossip revealed a horrifying truth. After his death, his heart had been surgically removed. She knew instantly, a man with extreme acrophobia could never have died from a fall from height. This was murder, cold, and calculated. She vowed vengeance. Soon, she discovered her boyfriend's heart was now beating inside the chest of the heir to the first Chabal group. To get close to him, she disguised herself as an uneducated country girl, ex-con, desperate for work to care for her paralyzed father. She was certain that someone harmless, controllable, a perfect pawn, was exactly what the cunning mistress wanted. And sure enough, she was hired on the spot. But once inside the estate, things grew strange. The heir, the very man who now carried her lover's heart, bore an uncanny resemblance to her dead boyfriend. And worse, he kept drawing near to her, as if pulled by something beyond his control. Then came the real twist. The mistress handed her money and ordered her to dress more attractively, because the true master she was meant to serve was the patriarch himself, the all-powerful head of the Chabal. The billionaire's son had just received a new heart, but he didn't know that this heart had been ripped from a living man by his own mother. And right now, the murdered man's fiancée was entering this house of sin as the new maid. When the heart transplant heir appeared, he found himself drawn to her, against his will. His mother tensed instantly. The kind-hearted young master once wanted to visit the organ donor's family in person, but his mother forbade it sharply, claiming it would reopen their wounds. She couldn't let him find out that the heart beating in his chest came from a meticulously planned murder. 3 months ago, the girl's fiancé, saving up for their wedding, accidentally fell to his death during high-altitude work. But she never believed it was an accident. She vowed that every blood-stained hand would pay and none would escape. To find proof, she and an ally set a trap. They bankrupted the gambling-addicted foreman and planted a bug on him. Sure enough, he went straight to the mastermind, the Chabal matriarch, to beg for money. The recorder captured the cruelest truth. They lured men with free health checkups, screened for heart compatibility, then staged fall accidents from heights. Her husband forged all organ donation documents, giving the murder a legal facade. Now that the maid knew the truth, her vengeance burned without restraint. But she wouldn't let them die easily. She would make their most treasured son, the very heir they adored, into the blade that pierces their hearts. Just then, the young master clutched his chest, his face pale, pain dropping him to his knees. The girl watched coldly, a frosty smile curling her lips. Her long-planned, cruelest revenge had finally begun.